Hello, today is the 12th of November. There's been a pause in my reporting, so that was related to my updates on my mythology, discovering and rediscovering some aspects of it which I'm putting to use now. And hopefully, I'll be able to finally achieve some consistency in my YouTube activities. We'll see. So, anyway, YouTube, or not necessarily YouTube, any other video platform as well. And with that being said, let's go straight to the chart. So the most important thing to know right now is that QQQ, the most important index, is back in this uptrend, which has been defined in August and September, and now it's sort of confirmed. It's okay to shake out a bit and create these islands if we use candlestick terminology, and then return back into the uptrend. Okay, so this is normal, and if you put elections out of the picture, it could be related to anything, maybe bad macro, or maybe some fears of recession, for example. So it's a totally normal situation, and the uptrend for now looks healthy. Also, we saw that volatility basically got killed here, and is quite low now, maybe not too low, which is quite good for the market, because healthy uptrending market still needs some volatility, but it's going to be the volatility that brings stuff up, not down. And also, let's take a look at the oil. The oil looks quite weak, actually. I've just drawn this line, and if it goes below it, I think it's safe to assume that we'll be heading much lower, because this large price structure is repeatedly testing the lows, and if some levels are getting tested, that means that the probability of them getting a push through is higher. So given the fact that Donald Trump is now president, and we know his stance on oil, he will increase drilling, and also at the same time we have China, who plans. These guys, they're quite good at executing massive statewide projects, and their top priority for now is green energy. They want to go green, like in the coming decades, and they're working on it already. So basically, there is no fundamental reason for oil to rise now, and I think we'll see much lower prices, not in the future, and probably quite soon. Also, this is the high level overview of the market, and if we go at the level of individual stocks, we'll see that actually it wasn't so easy to trade this election situation, and I actually did not trade it at all, because it is a bit similar to an approach when we leave stuff at night before earnings. I mean, the election. Of course, we had the polar market expectations, and they were pointing at Donald Trump, but there is always a chance that something goes wrong. And of course, the market, and quite a lot of people outside the market also were expecting some sort of battle around the results. Maybe they are still scared by what happened when Donald Trump lost the storming of the Capitol Hill, and that was a huge concern. My experience and also observations of other people confirm that actually market doesn't care that much about who is running the country. It just wants to be sure that the system is intact, and in order for the system to be intact, you need a clear winner. And since I also had this expectation of something really, really messy, but of course, life and the markets, they tend to show us insignificance of any expectations and importance of reality, and that's exactly what happened. So no real problems so far with the election, and it promptly resolved itself into a rally. But the problem with this rally is that it started from a really volatile price pictures. For example, I was trading this quite a bit actually, almost scalping almost intraday. And it was quite good, but you really can't hold a position in coming into a major event unless you are willing to make a leap of faith, which is not very professional in the world of trading. So that's why this rally caught almost everybody off guard in the field of low risk, high reward situation seeking. And what we see now, that there is a pause in this rally, and I think that the real test for it will be coming during this week and the next week, because these situations, these upticks, they should resolve themselves with a healthy consolidation. It could be short, it could be complementary, maybe developing something like a cap pattern on top of recent consolidations, if we take a look at NVDA. And finally, pushing further. Tesla is a specific situation. It's not related to the market overall. It's basically an expectation of further integration with the state, getting more orders, maybe managing statewide fleet of government used cars and something like that. Maybe even something related to the defense sector. So it's a special situation. Once again, you could actually buy this. Yes, you could. Right here. No, not here. Here. You could buy it as it closed this punctured line of this pullback, a bit extended, but nevertheless healthy. But once again, here is the gambling part. It could go very well into different direction, and it would look quite similar. So this is how it is now. Now the market is testing your discipline, and the market wants you to FOMO and to chase stuff, and chasing stuff never gets rewarded during prolonged periods of time. It never changes. And actually, these situations like these, they are even more burdensome for your psyche, because everything is growing, people are celebrating, and you're sitting on the sidelines because you do not accept situations that do not have that do not provide a definite advantage. So this is Tesla. And also we could take a look at not October, but yes, October. We'll talk about crypto in a bit, but I just want to show you a broader picture of what happens in the market. With few exceptions, actually, the market is still quite picky. Just take a look at those charts. These are the stocks that I selected to trade in October. And you see that with some exceptions, once again, we'll talk about BTC in a bit. With some exceptions, and Core Scientific is a BTC name too, if I remember that right. So not too much progress, actually. This is how markets make you believe that something is happening when actually it's not so true. And the ones that are growing like this. They shake you out, they form these potentially destructive price patterns, and after that they just go further up, thus creating expectations, which will bring lots of people into lots of trouble further ahead, because they once again, newcomers are getting trained to buy the dip no matter what. So still quite a picky market. There are some growing names, but lots of volatility as well. And of course, in a good market, you're not supposed to be receiving reports from new IPOs like this. I'm talking about Monday, MNDY. Microsoft is quite weak. Madison Square Garden was good. No, it's not so good. So, yeah, this is the reality of this market. The hard and tough reality. The only way here is to be patient and to wait for a more productive environment to form. Well, maybe that could be seasonality is still in play, because we'll see, maybe, if I'm right, if my primary scenario is correct, we'll see this pause for a week or two, and we will proceed to go further up from there. And that would be a good seasonality because of the Santa Claus rally. Okay, so despite the fact that I decided to watch this election situation from the sidelines, I still have something good happening for me, and namely it's BTC. And I decided to stay with this one because it has no gaps, so it was safe to trade it through election. And of course, it was not perfectly executed. You see the visual stuff of the visual part of my trades here, because I jumped in here on this flag, expecting that it will go further to the upside, sort of discounting Trump rally, and actually the fact that it didn't was an information for me that I've interpreted like this, that the market wasn't actually sure that he's going to be elected, and something is about to happen. So, but nevertheless, I kept trading it, and it worked, and so far it worked once again. And I think that this thing here is a bit of a futures for the Trump rally, because, for example, some people say that it's all too smooth, no fighting, no like provocations from the other party, no people on the streets, like the dark stuff that lots of people actually were expecting. It's not happening now. So maybe something is in the works, and we should see it here, in my opinion, because for some reason BTC is becoming a better futures market than futures market itself. And it was like this for the last 2 or 3 years, in my opinion. So have a bit of exposure here, so it works quite nice. My BTC method is still in development, but thankfully it is starting to see some traction now. And let's also finalize it with a bit of a high level study. Here is the weekly market. I've posted these pictures before in my social media platforms. And what do we see here? Here are the cycles of BTC, and first run was roughly 1400%. The second one was 2200%, and and this one is smaller than the first one by the measure of 84%. So if we apply this reduction, how do you say, if we reduce 220%, I'm sorry, I spelled it, said it wrong, 220%, if we reduce it by 84%, we'll get something like 33. And if we if we measure it like this, we'll see that 33 is actually not too accurate. It's a bit higher. Let's find something like this. So it's around 92, 94, maybe 95 if we will get some good momentum. So actually it makes sense, you know. Yes, I'm pretty confident that BTC is a good asset, and it's here to stay and to be used and adopted. But the more players we have, the less alpha is there also. This run, it could be a bit weaker than the ones that were before. Of course, fundamentals can change, and if for example, US government decides to follow through on their promises, or maybe on their interest, it was not a promise to Bitcoin as a reserve asset, it could go quite a bit, like to the moon. Because the truth of the price analysis is that it only works when the fundamentals are intact. If something drastically changes, if there is a new configuration of players in the market that are now actively participating, it could change in a minute. But as of now, it looks like it will consolidate here. Maybe it should find support somewhere here, hopefully in the coming days. Maybe do another run, test it, and retreat from there. So it could very well be true. We'll see. That's it for now. Let's be in touch.